All right, buckle up because today's deep dive is all about those mind-blowing Nobel Prizes.
Oh, yeah.
You've sent over like a huge stack of articles here,
Absolute.
which tells me you're just as excited as I am to unpack this year's awards.
Yeah.
We've got physics, we've got chemistry, we've got medicine.
Could be good.
Looks like somebody is ready to win a trivia night.
You know what I think is really interesting? Is it's not just about like knowing who won and what date it was.
Right.
Like you actually want to understand
Yeah.
why these discoveries matter.
Exactly. So what do you say we skip those like boring introductions and jump straight into the fascinating world of groundbreaking discoveries, world-changing research, and maybe even a few aha moments along the way?
Let's do it. You know, when you look at the big picture of this year's awards,
Yeah.
it really highlights the interconnectedness of scientific discovery.
Okay.
Like take AI, for example.
Okay.
It's not just confined to computer science anymore.
Right.
It's like revolutionizing fields like biology and chemistry,
Mm,
even leading to this year's physics prize.
that's right. John Hopfield and Geoffrey Hinton,
Exactly.
the pioneers behind artificial neural networks.
Mhm.
I don't know about you, but I always imagine those as something out of like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
You know, but it turns out they're inspired by something much closer to home, the human brain.
Exactly. And it's fascinating how their work, which, spans decades,
Yeah.
laid the groundwork for today's AI revolution.
Yeah.
Hopfield provided like the early framework,
Yeah.
showed us how to mimic the brain's structure
Okay.
with these artificial neurons in connection.
So it's like they built like a simple version of the brain
Precisely.
in a computer.
But there was a snag.
Oh, no.
These early networks, they struggled to learn and generalize from data.
Yeah.
That's where Hinton comes in.
Okay.
He developed this method called backpropagation
Okay.
that essentially taught these networks how to learn from their mistakes,
Oh,
just like we do.
interesting.
So instead of getting stuck in a loop, Hinton gave AI the power to adapt and improve,
Right.
which paved the way for the AI we see everywhere today.
Everywhere.
Speaking of which, those chemistry prize winners,
Yeah.
they took this AI magic to a whole new level.
Yeah. Proteins and AI.
Right.
That's not a pairing that you hear every day.
You're telling me. David Baker, Demis Hassabis, and John Jumper.
Okay.
They showed us just how powerful this combination can be.
Okay.
For years, scientists struggled to predict the 3D structure of proteins.
Yeah. What's the big deal about the shape of a protein?
It's like this. A protein's shape determines its function.
Okay.
If it's misshapen, it can't do its job,
Okay.
which could lead to disease.
Oh, I see.
Imagine a key that doesn't fit its lock.
Right.
That's a protein that can't interact properly
Yeah.
with other molecules in your body.
Okay. Bad for your biological locks. Got it.
Yeah.
So how did these guys figure it out?
Hassabis and Jumper, they used AI, developed AlphaFold,
Okay.
this tool that predicts protein structures with mind-blowing accuracy.
Wow.
Imagine going from years of painstaking research
Yeah.
to having a computer spit out the answer in hours.
That's incredible.
This breakthrough is already having a real-world impact.
That's awesome.
Thanks to our third winner, David Baker.
Right. He's using this technology to like design entirely new proteins.
From scratch.
From scratch, which is like, if you think about it, it's like going from reading a cookbook to writing your own. Exactly. But we're talking about the building blocks of life here.
Precisely. Baker's work means we could potentially design new proteins to fight diseases,
Whoa.
to create new materials,
Really?
develop personalized medicine,
Wow.
tailored to your unique biology.
That's incredible.
We're talking about saving millions of lives,
Wow.
changing the world as we know it.
Now that's what I call a Nobel-worthy breakthrough.
Right.
But before we get too lost in the world of AI and proteins,
Yeah.
we've got to talk about another fascinating discovery.
Oh, yeah.
This time in the realm of medicine.
Okay.
Jelly Brack, what are microRNAs? Okay.
And why should we care about them?
MicroRNAs are like these tiny little guardians of our genes.
Okay.
And see, our DNA has like all the instructions
Right.
for building and maintaining our bodies.
Right.
But all those instructions
Okay.
need to be carefully like regulated.
Right. Because you don't need every single gene switched on
That's right.
all the time in every single cell, right?
You got like imagine having
It'd be a waste of energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'd be like having every single light in your house on
Yeah.
24/7.
Even the ones in like the closet?
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that's where microRNAs come in.
Okay.
They're like dimmer switches for our genes,
Okay.
controlling which genes get expressed and like to what extent.
Oh, that's cool.
And so this year's Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine went to Victor Ambrose and Gary Rifkin for like their groundbreaking discovery.
That's so cool.
These tiny molecules.
So instead of having like everything blasting at full volume all the time,
Our cells have these microRNAs to kind of fine-tune the orchestra of our genes.
you got it.
And this all started with studying worms.
They made this discovery while studying tiny roundworms.
What?
But it turns out these microRNAs are found like across this huge range of species,
Really?
including humans.
Wow.
What they discovered in like those worms
Yeah.
has had this ripple effect on our understanding of human health and disease.
So we're talking about the potential for like new treatments for everything from cancer to genetic disorders.
Oh, yeah?
All thanks to some tiny worms.
You got it?
And their microRNA managers.
That's right.
That's wild.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show
Mm.
that like these big scientific breakthroughs can come from the most unexpected places.
Totally.
Sometimes the smallest discoveries can have the biggest impact.
That's so true.
Speaking of impact, I know you're kind of curious about the more like human
Oh,
side
sure.
of these awards.
Yeah.
And I think you'll find this next bit fascinating.
Hit me with it.
Okay, so,
What's the story behind this mysterious Alfred Nobel?
well, you're right. He was quite the character.
Yeah.
A scientist,
Okay.
an inventor, businessman,
Wow.
and like ultimately a philanthropist
Okay.
who left this like indelible mark on the world.
Yeah, it's not every day we hear about somebody who invents dynamite
Right.
and then dedicates their fortune to promoting peace.
It's this fascinating paradox.
Yeah.
Nobel was a man of contradictions, for sure.
Yeah.
Shaped by both like the potential
Yeah.
and the perils of his own creations.
Yeah.
You know, he saw firsthand
Yeah.
the destructive power of dynamite,
Right.
especially when it was used in warfare,
Right.
and it like deeply affected him.
So do you think that's kind of what prompted him to establish the Nobel Prizes?
I think so.
Like almost like a way to atone for his inventions
Yeah.
and promote like a more peaceful and enlightened world?
I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Nobel believed in the power of knowledge and innovation
Okay.
to solve like humanity's greatest challenges.
Great.
He saw the prizes as this way to incentivize
Yeah.
and celebrate
Right.
those who were making the world a better place.
Yeah.
Whether it was through groundbreaking discoveries,
Right.
literary masterpieces,
Yeah.
or just like tireless efforts toward peace.
And look at the legacy he's created.
I know, it's incredible.
Over a century later,
Yeah.
the Nobel Prizes are still considered like the pinnacle of achievement in so many different fields.
Right.
And I feel like it's not just about like the money or the prestige.
Oh,
It's
right.
more than that.
It's about recognition, you know?
Right.
It's about inspiring future generations
Right.
to strive for excellence.
Yeah.
It's about like
Yeah.
celebrating the
Yeah.
very best of humanity.
I love that.
And that kind of brings us to this year's Nobel Peace Prize,
Yeah, okay.
which was awarded to a group that embodies those very ideals.
Okay, tell me more.
Nihon Hidankia,
Okay.
the atomic bomb survivors
Wow.
of Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Wow. Their stories are, I mean, just even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Spare her. It's just a powerful reminder of the human cost of war,
Absolutely.
especially nuclear war.
And for over 70 years,
Wow.
they've dedicated themselves to achieving a world free of nuclear weapons,
Yeah, it's incredible.
sharing their experiences,
Right.
advocating for peace,
It's amazing.
their courage and resilience.
Yeah.
It's just a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity.
It's a powerful reminder that peace isn't just like the absence of war,
Right.
but it's like the active pursuit of a world where such horrors are unthinkable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of like pursuing a better world,
Okay.
let's move on to the economics prize.
Okay, let's do it.
This year, it went to these three economists.
Okay.
Daron Acemoglu, Simon Johnson, and James Robinson,
Okay.
who kind of explored this question that has like puzzled economists for centuries.
What's that?
Why are some countries rich,
Right.
others poor?
It's a great question. It feels very relevant right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
With so much like global inequality going on.
Yeah. What did they find?
Their research showed it's not just about natural resources
Okay.
or like cheap labor.
Right.
It's about the strength of a nation's institutions.
Institutions, so you mean like the governments
Yes.
and like legal systems and things like that?
Exactly.
Okay.
They found that countries with strong institutions, you know,
Okay.
characterized by things like the rule of law,
Yeah.
secure property rights,
Right.
and like low levels of corruption
Yeah.
tend to be more prosperous,
That makes sense.
and equitable.
So it's not enough to just have like a good idea
Right.
or a strong work ethic.
Yeah.
You need like a level playing field.
Yes.
A system that allows people to thrive
Exactly.
and succeed.
That's the crux of their argument.
That's really interesting.
And their work has had a huge impact
Yeah.
on development economics.
It's making me think that these prizes,
Yeah.
from AI to economics, they offer this incredible snapshot
They do.
of where we are as like a species,
It's true.
the challenges we face,
Totally.
and the incredible potential we have to create a better future.
Yeah, it really does make you think about the big questions,
It does.
doesn't it?
It does. And speaking of big questions,
Okay.
I think you wanted to kind of dive into something near and dear
Oh, yeah.
to both of our hearts.
Let's do it.
Literature.
Yes.
This year's Nobel Prize in Literature went to South Korean author Han Kang.
I know. Exciting reel.
I have to admit, I'm a little starstruck.
Yeah, she's amazing.
I've read some of her work, and it's just incredible.
What did you think?
Her writing has this power to, like, transport you to another world
Totally.
and make you feel things so deeply. Have you read any of her work?
I have.
What have you read?
I read her novel, The Vegetarian.
How was it?
It's haunting, thought-provoking.
Really?
Yeah. Explores themes of identity, desire, and rebellion
Wow.
in a way that really stays with you long after you finish reading.
It's amazing how literature can do that, isn't it?
I know. It's incredible.
Just transport us to like different worlds and challenge our perspectives
Yeah.
and just connect us through like these shared human experiences.
It's a powerful reminder
Yeah,
of the importance of art
for sure.
and storytelling
Totally.
in a world that often feels very dominated by science and technology.
Absolutely. And speaking of reminders,
You know, we talk about leaving the world a little better than we found it.
right.
Well, I actually came across this quote
Yeah.
from Alfred Nobel himself
Really?
that I think kind of captures that sentiment perfectly.
Okay, let's hear it.
He once wrote, "I intend to leave after me a death mask made of pure gold. It will not be shown to anyone. I want to be absolutely sure that I don't see anything."
That's amazing.
Well,
Classic Nobel.
yep.
A little morbid, a little funny.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
strangely profound.
Exactly. You know, it's a good reminder that while recognition has its place,
Yeah.
the real reward
Yeah.
is in the work itself,
I like that.
you know,
Yeah.
in like pursuing knowledge and pushing boundaries
Right.
and striving to make a difference.
It's like you said earlier.
Yeah,
The real prize isn't the award, it's the impact these discoveries have
exactly.
on the world.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe one of our listeners will be inspired
It's true.
by this year's Nobel Prizes
Totally.
to pursue their own world-changing ideas.
There you go. That's our challenge to you listeners.
I love it.
What world-changing idea are you going to pursue?
Yeah, what problem are you going to solve?
What story will you tell?
Keep those questions buzzing around in your mind
Yes.
because the world needs your curiosity, your passion,
Yes.
and your own unique brilliance.
That's right. And who knows, maybe someday we'll be talking about your groundbreaking work
That would be amazing.
on this very podcast.
I would love that.
But until then, keep exploring, keep learning,
Absolutely.
and keep that beautiful brain of yours
Yes.
in awe of the world around you.
Well said.
Yeah.
Until next time, happy lending.
See you later.